Hello you guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't already know me, my name is Brittany, and if you're new here, feel free to leave a like, drop a comment, and consider subscribing because it'd be really cool and it'd help me out a lot. If you're new here, feel free to hit that little notification bell to get notified every single time that I post, because it is very rarely, if ever, because I'm a very busy person, unfortunately. So, for today's video, I'm going to be doing a get ready with me / Q&A. Just really short and simple, hopefully. See when I edit this. I'm just gonna be doing my makeup while I answer just like a couple basic questions that I get like asked a lot. And then I'm gonna go take my drug test by my PO. And then I'll be back to tell you guys the results. So if that's something you're interested in watching, stay tuned. Now I have no makeup on, so yeah, but for today's get ready with me, I'm getting ready to see my PO. So a lot of the questions that I'm going to be answering are questions that I've received in my last video in regards to my drug testing. So, I'm sure as you guys know, if you've seen my last YouTube video, I failed my drug test. For the first time in my entire life, I failed a drug test. Well, besides the very first drug test I ever took, I failed because I didn't know how to pass yet. For the first time ever, I failed a drug test unintentionally and like actually failed it. Basically, if you can't pee for your drug test, like I had already explained this in the first video, so I won't now, but if you can't pee for your drug test, then it's an automatic fail, and I hadn't had anything to eat or drink that day, so I failed because I couldn't pee. So I get random UAs where I have to call this phone number every single day, and the number either says you are required to test today or you do not test today. And today I called that number this morning, first thing I do every day when I wake up, and it told me you are required to test today. So I'm gonna do my makeup, I'm gonna drink a fuck ton of water, so I actually have to pee, and then I'm gonna go take the test, and I'll come back and just tell you guys what the results were. But while I get ready for that, I'm gonna answer some questions. So the main question I've been getting recently is, did I get in trouble from that last video? No, I guess she's being lenient with me. Like, I failed, so if she really wanted to, she could've, like, I failed by default. I didn't actually take the test, but that's why I failed. So if she wanted to, she could put a warrant out for my arrest, just because I've technically failed a probation drug test while being on probation out of jail. So that right there in and of itself is enough to send me back. But, you know, I explained to her what had gone on. Like, I explained to her I've been at work since 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't have time to prepare, you know, to drink for this test, to do anything. So, I told her about how, like, you know, I don't get breaks. Where I work, you don't get breaks. You work the entire shift, you know, 8 to 12 hours, and you don't sit down. You don't get time to eat or drink. You barely get time to shit. The time to shit is a very rare time. So, like, she related to that. She told me, you know, I feel that where I work, I don't get to sit down, I don't get to take breaks, I don't really get time to eat or drink or shit. So she sympathized with me, and God bless her, she was like, you failed today, but you can just, you know, I'm not gonna put out a warrant for your arrest, I'm not gonna. By the way, when I made that video, I didn't know all this. She told me this after I was crying hysterically for hours. Like, cause basically I waited till after the test to freak out, and she didn't give me all of this information till after I was crying on the phone, begging her not to arrest me over this, and she was like, I'm not gonna arrest you. I understand where you're coming from. And she was basically like, just don't let it happen again. Like, prepare for the test next time. So here I am doing just that. I'm preparing for the test. I am drinking my water. Another question I get asked a lot is, recently is, am I allowed to fail my drug test now that I have my medical marijuana card? So, that depends on where you live, apparently. Okay. So you can think of it like any other controlled substance that you were to get drug tested for. Say you're on probation and then you get your wisdom teeth removed. They're gonna probably prescribe you hydrocodone or oxycodone, which are painkillers, for your teeth, or your now missing teeth. So if you were on probation, you were getting drug tested randomly, but you were prescribed oxycodone or hydrocodone because your teeth were removed, you could then fail for oxy and hydrocodone, but you couldn't fail for anything else. So if you are prescribed something, no matter what it is, and you can prove that you are prescribed it, then you can fail for it. So same thing with the medical marijuana card. I am medically prescribed marijuana, so I'm legally allowed to fail my drug tests for marijuana. Whether that be an employment drug test, whether that be a probation drug test. Shit, if I were to go to rehab right now, the only drug that I would be allowed to do is marijuana. And I'm perfectly okay with that, just saying. But yeah, that's how it be. So like, yes, the question to that answer is yes, I can fail my drug tests for any form of marijuana, but that is the only thing I can fail for, unless I get prescribed something else. But like, the other questions that I really get asked are all about drug tests and like CERTO, so I guess I'll answer a few of those. The main question I get asked is, can you use the powder CERTO? No, don't use the powder CERTO. So there's a powdered CERTO and then there is a liquid CERTO. This is for passing drug tests. Do not use the powdered CERTO. Do not use it, you will fail. You will fail. I don't know what the difference is, but my boyfriend tried using the powdered CERTO because they were sold out of the liquid CERTO. That seems to be a problem for a lot of people. And he had nothing but powdered CERTO, so he used the powdered CERTO and he literally failed his drug test for probation. So don't use the powdered CERTO. Just saying, it does not work. Unless somebody can figure out the right quantity of it to use, but from what I've seen and the reviews I've heard from people, don't use that shit, you're gonna fail. Just putting that out there. Another main question I get, which I've answered, but I guess I'll answer it again. CERTO only works, it only keeps you clean, it only makes you show up as clean for about an hour. You can like push for 2 hours. I've heard of people, getting 2 or 3 hours out of the CERTO, like clean time. I personally would not trust that. I only give CERTO like an hour. I wouldn't go over an hour, hour and a half. So basically, if your drug test is at 10 o'clock in the morning, I would start drinking that CERTO at about 9 o'clock. Maybe 8:45. You could push it a little bit earlier to give it like time to go through your system. And also, make sure people are really confused about how much you should pee, if at all. Pee as much, as you possibly can. Like, I pee about 3, 4, 5 times before the test. And then whenever you're peeing for the actual test, catch that shit midstream. Don't immediately pee directly into the cup. Pee a little bit and then put your hand in there and catch it, midstream. Because what first comes out has the most substance in it. It's the dirtiest. So now, leaning away from the topic of substance abuse, a lot of other questions that I've been getting, which I appreciate, are questions about my job. So, the main question about my job that I get is, where did my idea for this job come from? Where does my passion for animals come from? Do I even have a passion for animals? The answer to that question is yes, my dude. The very first time that anybody ever asked me what I wanted to be, I was in kindergarten. And everybody answered with, their answers, and my answer was a veterinarian. In kindergarten, the very first time they asked me what I wanted to be, it was a veterinarian. 18 to 17 years later, here I am. I'm a veterinarian, or I'm not quite a veterinarian. I'm an assistant, but still, kindergarten 6-year-old me would be very proud. I feel like maybe 6-year-old me wouldn't be too proud of the stuff that I did in between getting to where I am now, but I got here, and that's what matters. I didn't think I'd make it this far, and I have. So that in and of itself is pretty damn cool, if you ask me. Another question I get asked pretty frequently is, has CERTO ever not worked for me? Which is a pretty good question. Thinking about it, I want to say no, but I do remember a few times where CERTO has not worked, Like, I took a test and the line was really faint. So, like, I felt like for a lab test it would not pass. And what I do in that situation is I just increase the water. So usually if CERTO isn't working for you, it's probably because all you did was, you know, drink a thing of Gatorade, so like one of the large Gatorade things, and then the CERTO. That is not going to make you pass. You have to drink, like, the Gatorade isn't really what's making you pass, and I feel like that's what a lot of people don't get. Like, the Gatorade is like the least important part. Even the CERTO isn't really the most important part. The most important part to passing is the water in and of itself. Like, you could probably get very similar results from the CERTO method by just drinking a lot of water. But the CERTO is just like an extra precaution, if you will, an extra, like, an extra hand in passing. Like, you could realistically probably down an entire gallon of water and then pass a drug test. Depending on how frequently you used, when the last time you used was, what your, you know, body weight is, what your height is, your gender, your age. A lot of different roles play into how much water you're gonna need to pass, how much CERTO, how much everything. Another question I get asked a lot, or not a lot, but like, one question I've gotten asked at least, is how long my boyfriend and I have been together. So, what day is today? Hold on, I gotta do some math. 18th of September. So, my boyfriend and I got together, officially, on December 16th, 2015. And now it is September 18th, I believe is what I just said, 2019. So, I have to count on my hands. We've been dating since December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So we've been dating 3 years and 9 months. Because if we got together December 16th, 2015, and at the date of this recording, as I'm speaking right now, it is September 19th, 2019, or September 7th, what the fuck? September 18th, Jesus. I have like one brain cell left, okay, and it's very dark and scary up there, and she's trying her best, so give me a break. Another question I get asked is, how did I manage to get arrested for THC concentrates when I have my medical marijuana card? So, you see, what had happened was I was stupid, and I didn't think that I actually qualified for my medical marijuana card. Like, I knew I had a qualifying condition, or several qualifying conditions, but I didn't think it would be that easy or that simple to just get it. So I put it off, because I'm dumb. And yeah, I didn't have my medical marijuana card at the time that I got arrested. I was hotboxing a car with dabs / THC concentrates, and that is a felony in the state of Florida. So, if I were to get caught doing the same thing, I don't think it would be as severe of a punishment because I have my medical marijuana card. But even with a medical marijuana card, you are not allowed to medicate in public, which includes hotboxing your own car, unless you're on your own property. Then I think that's legal, as long as you're not going to drive anywhere. But yeah, I was in a public place. I did not have my medical marijuana card. I was hotboxing a car with THC concentrates, which are a felony in any quantity in the state of Florida. So that is the answer to that question. Okay, so that's pretty much the entire look done. Now I'm just gonna put my conditioner in, and then I'm gonna sit here and chug a bunch of water until I feel like I have to pee, and then I'm gonna go downtown and take my drug test. Alright, I will be right back, and I'll be back with an update, I guess. Thanks for watching. So that was different. I'm back for my PO. I really like this lighting. I've Anyway, back from my PO, and I did the test. I actually peed this time. I could have filled up like 3 of those cups, to be honest. Like, it was one of those times where I peed and I kind of made the cup overflow. So I had to like pour some out, and then I like kept peeing even after. I literally could have filled up like 5 of those cups. So I was overly prepared today. So yeah, I didn't fail today's test because I could actually pee. So they sent it away to a lab, which is new. When I was in pre-trial services and they drug tested me, it was in a cup, and the cup had the strips on it, and you got the results immediately. This one, they had me pee into a cup, and then pour that cup into a smaller cup, and then they put like a label on it, and then they sent it off in the mail. So I won't technically know my results until there's a warrant out for my arrest or not. Basically, that's how that works. So, but I already know that I passed because like all I've done is smoke weed for the past, like, since I got out of jail. Literally, I haven't even drank since I got out of jail, which has been surprisingly difficult for me. Like, that's for a completely different video. Yeah, I know I passed because all I've been doing is smoking weed, and I have my card, so like, I'm good. I just wanted to give this update. Everything's good. So like, I'm sorry if I worried anybody. I was just worried myself. It's really like scary to like be unsure about your future and to just, I don't know. Those of you that understand, and that's what counts. So thank you so much to those of you that have been like understanding through this whole thing. Like, I genuinely cannot help you enough. Like, the advice and the positive comments that I've received while going through all of this have helped me immensely, and I cannot thank you enough for those of you that have been like helpful in any way, shape, or form, and like reassuring, because that really goes a long way. So thank you for that. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and remember, if you can't be good, you better be good at it. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm sorry if I worried anybody. I've just been going through it.